Hey Ma, do you know what bursts my bubble?
What bursts your bubble?
When your social life revolves around somebody and they clearly don't want to be interacting with you. I go out to dinner with friends, and it's clear they'd rather be elsewhere, at the bar, socializing with other people.
How is it clear that they'd rather be elsewhere? Give me some examples. Cite some examples of how you say it's clear that they'd rather be elsewhere.
It's kind of like a sixth sense. I just feel like I get on their nerves, that they'd rather be hanging out with somebody less nerdy, they'd rather be going to bar-like things.
Well, why are you putting yourself down? I mean, maybe they're the ones that are the nerds. I mean, you're putting yourself down when, in fact, they could be the ones that are the nerds.
Good point. Do you ever feel like, it's kind of like, I kind of wish somebody, I guess you're not going to connect with everyone and everything, and sometimes you have childhood friends that you like. I mean, I like these friends who I like to call the Swell BoyZ on this channel, but you know, it's kind of like the Beach Boys song, I just wasn't made for these times. Sometimes you feel like you're just so different than some people, and it's like you like them, but you're so different.
You know what, Andrew? Everybody is different, and sometimes we try to change people into being like us, and they never will be. So it really comes down to accepting ourselves and accepting them for who they are and what their limits are. They might be so limited that they can only give you so much, and they're not capable of giving more. Some people are not deep, they just aren't.
Do you have any friends that you kind of wish that would be, like have you ever been really desperate for a friend, and you had a friend that you were trying to make more than they are, and it's just like, you know.
Maybe in a relationship, maybe more of a relationship, I wanted it to be more than it was, and it just was never going to be that.
Right.
And it was very hard to accept. It was very hard to accept that this is only going to be very superficial, and that's it.
And speaking of the Swell BoyZ, I feel like they hang out with women without me. And I feel like they're embarrassed, or for some reason they don't want to bring me around the women. I don't know why, but maybe this is all in my head. Maybe they like me, but they see me once a week. It seems like they're annoyed to go, and they always want to get the check and just get out of there. It's like they see me.
Well, they work, so when you work and you're tired, a lot of times you want.
But it sounded like they wanted to go to the bar right after. So it's like they just wanted to rush and get out of there. They go to the bar, and they're probably going out with women. You know, it's kind of like they want to do their own thing, and I'm like.
Well, then ask them. Email them and ask them. Say.
Sometimes you like you said, you just kind of have to accept.
Well, if you enjoy that interaction with the meal, then go. If you feel that it's getting you too upset and pissed off, then don't go.
Right.
You gotta either that or confront them and say, look, when we go out to eat, are you anxious to get out of here? And if you are, then maybe we'll do this. But then it's kind of like you have to use them.
And sometimes when your social life revolves around somebody, it's kind of hard.
You limit yourself.
Yeah, like if you're in a relationship and you're like, all right, if I end the relationship with the person, I'll have nothing. I'll have no friends.
Well,
so you're kind of afraid to end the friendship. You're kind of afraid to end the relationship. Well, they have a lot of avenues. They're in relationships. They have friends besides me, you know. And I'm starting to meet friends at the support group, so I'm starting to need them less and less. And maybe someday the roles will swap, and I won't need them, and they'll need me.
And then you know what? But don't be a douche. You know what I mean? If they're douche, be you. Be who you are. Don't be them.
Right.
Because.
And I feel like they poke fun at me when I'm not around. They probably laugh at the fact that I'm crazy, and it's kind of like a pity event. They don't say this when I'm around them, and maybe I'm being oversensitive and paranoid, but I believe that they do, you know, poke fun at me when I'm not around, and I'm almost certain they do.
Why would they do that? Why? Why would they do that? Oh, this is something that Andrew would do. Ha 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 ha.
I feel like they hang out with people when I'm not around, and they poke fun, and it's just maybe.
Well, then they're not friends.
Right.
In other words, then they're not friends. If you think that they stab you in the back, then they're not friends. Then maybe you need to find other avenues.
I think. They were good childhood friends. Were they good childhood friends? They were childhood friends. Maybe they weren't good friends, but sometimes it's time you have to outgrow your childhood.
It's the devil you know.
It's the devil you know. Sometimes it's the devil you know, and sometimes you have to close the chapter on your childhood friends and meet people in the present and future.
And move forward, and people that can relate to you and understand you and appreciate you. There's the word. Appreciate you.
Exactly.
And that is what it is.
That is what it is.